Okay, so let's talk on grace because I think a lot of time we're too quick to condemn or judge another person, forgetting just how much grace the Lord has truly given us and still given us to make our mistakes, even after we gave our life to the Lord. Hmm. I guess I'm the only one. He done gave that much grace. So let me tell off on myself. Okay, so me, I gave my life to the Lord April 2014. 15, I started being introduced, I said like that, into my calling. Had a mentor, 15, 16, 17. By 17, I was operating in it. Not saying I wasn't operating in 15, 16, but those 2 years I was definitely sitting down under my mentor at the time, of that time. But anyway, let's go on. I think where we go wrong is failing to realize no one is perfect. Two, just like when you first came to Christ, He had to walk you back out of Egypt. Everyone is different. It may not take you years. It may not take you years, right? So, as I was saying, sum it up. What took you years to get to may not take the other person years. What took you months to get to may take somebody else years. We're all going through our own personal process, right? God is dealing with us all on this walk. Just because I came to Christ April 14, gave my life to Him, started walking with Him, doesn't mean I was ready to be at a born again state and place, stage by day 2 of walking with Christ. God had to walk me out of Egypt. I had been living in Egypt for many years. He had to now walk Egypt back out of me, right? So I know we're saying that. Yeah, some people try to argue. Let me say this: just because you get baptized or give your life to the Lord doesn't mean you're born again. Because for one, if you're born again, there's no more backsliding. You born again, you shouldn't still be backsliding. I can tell off on myself and say April 14, 2014, I did not become born again. Yes, I started walking with Christ. I gave my life to the Lord. At that very day and month and year, I had not surrendered to the Lord. There's a difference. Let's go on. But guess what? God knew. Yes, I got a hold to her. Yes, she's following after me. I know she's not surrendered yet. And He gave me the grace to make my mistakes. With those mistakes that I made, I learned from them. I grew from them. I didn't continue to repeat them over and over and over again. I didn't stay in them. I became a backslider, true indeed, because I backslid from following after Christ back into sin. So far, to one point, God warned me not to go back, and I did. And I went back for a little 5-minute thrill, and God punished me for that. But nevertheless, He gave me grace because even after that, I still made mistakes. I still made mistakes. I could talk about just 2 years ago when I was so comfortable, numb to my situation, to being temporarily homeless, to where this man came and act like he really was trying to help me, although he played up on me. But you can't blame the devil. You got to look at yourself. Hello, somebody, but let's go on. As I was saying, the devil showed up in that very moment, giving me as the comfort. I said like that. The devil showed up at that very moment as the comfort that I needed right then and right there 2 years ago. And just as sure as my name is Shadi, I backslid And let me tell you something. God always corrected me, honey. I didn't need a man to tell me when I was in sin. Yes, I was numb to the pain and the situation I was in, but even while I was in sin, God told me, rededicate your life back to me. Woo. I didn't need man to tell me when I was wrong. I didn't need man to tell me when I was sinning against God. Come on, God told me. He called me. He checked me. He pulled my tag. Come on. But guess what? Even in the midst of sin, God still had a grace over me, allowing me to make my mistakes. Hear me clearly. I'm not saying God supports sin. No, he don't. But what I am saying, sometimes you need to look back over your own life and look at the grace that God gave you to make all the mistakes you done made, honey. Because nobody is perfect. And you're going to continue to make mistakes. Now, I know there's a difference between willfully sinning and making a mistake. I know there's a difference between you following after Christ versus you just doing what you want to do. You trying to walk with Christ versus you doing what you want to do. I know there's a difference. But at the same time, why are we not showing Ashanti and Nelly grace? We want to beat this woman up because she ain't married, send her to hell right along with everybody else, including Beyonce. Come on, are you serious? Yes, I went there because somebody needs to stand up for people. This not saying I agree with nobody's sin, but what I am saying, sometime before you try to judge another man for the sin that they may be in, look at your own self and ask God, God, shine a spiritual mirror on me. Is it anything that you see in me that I can improve and work on before you look at another man's sin that they may be in and try to condemn or judge them or talk bad or against them? Period. Why can't we show her grace? Hello, God showed us grace. Still showing us grace. Now hear me clearly. I know, yeah, that grace will run out. You keep playing with God. But at the same time, allow a person to make their mistakes. I'm going to leave you on with this last note. If you are in a backsliding state, you done backslid from God, maybe because you got comfortable in your situation, whatever it may be, I understand. But get back up. God is calling you back to Him. If you have yet to start walking with Christ, trying to walk with Him, give your life to the Lord. If you have yet to get to that born again state, surrender to Christ. Hello, somebody. But nevertheless, whatever part you may be in your process with God, show grace to the other human because God showed grace to you. Remember where He brought you from, and be patient with others. Ask the Lord process them and work with them and deal with them and what they have to